You can have the looks and the brain. How often have you felt like people needed you to choose between either having the looks or having the brains? If me being the fullness of who I am threatens your peace, well, I'm sorry, you have to do something about that. You have to work on yourself. I'm not a mechanic, I can't fix you, you know? But the bottom line is, anyone can have both. If I look the way I do, that's because I put in the work and the efforts over the years. And that was for personal reasons, not to prove a point to someone. No. So at the end of the day, I believe everyone should have the freedom of being who they want to be. So if somebody have both the brain and the looks, let them be. But stop projecting your insecurities on them by trying to make them feel like they should only have one. If somebody takes care of themselves, that's because they want to. And just because they do so doesn't mean that they don't have brains, doesn't mean that they cannot be smart or intelligent. No, they can. Perhaps even more than you. So, how about we just start allowing people to be who they are in the fullness of who they can be? Isn't that simple? Because at the end of the day, it's a matter of thought process, It's a matter of thought process. If your thought process is set in a way whereas you can only see one, well, at the end of the day, the person is not to blame. That's on you. That's your thought process. But if you try to elevate your thought process just a little bit, just that little bit, you'll be able to understand that that person is who she or he is, in the fullness of who they are. If they have the brains and the looks, well, good for them. If they have only the brains, good for them. If they have only the looks, well, good for them. Whatever works for them at the end of the day. That is a thought process, and that is a mindset that you have to have and that you have to keep. Do you get that? Do not allow people to make you feel as if you have to dim a side of your personality just so they can feel better about themselves. No. If you have the looks and if you have the brain, good for you. Whatever it is that you are, the fullness at the end of the day is all about living in the fullness of who you can be. So if that's where you are at, let no one make you regress. Let no one make you feel as if you have to kill a side of you just so you can accommodate them. No. Life's about moving forward and upward. Let them elevate your thought process into understanding that they have to rise up to a certain level if they wish to, of course. You don't have to change the core of who you are. What you can do is you work on aspects of who you are to better them. And that's where you get to where you need to get. And that's just that. Keep showing up, keep showing off, keep being your best self, and remember this. There's nothing wrong with being who you are. And if somebody has an issue with you being the way you are, well, two things can be done. They either walk away or they accept you as you are. Now, accepting you the way you are doesn't mean that they might not point some things out every now and then. But as long as you don't feel like somebody is trying to change you, okay? And be careful. Most of the time, somebody might actually give you some advices or some pointers. Doesn't mean that they want to change you. It just means that they want you to grow. They want you to get better in this or that area. Because sometimes, because of the high level of empathy of people, they may want for you what you're not even aware of for your own self at a certain level. And by the time you realize that particular thing, sometimes, in most cases, actually, we've already chased them or we got mad at them. Little did we know that what they meant for us was good, actually. There is no perfect way of meaning good to someone. So people can be pushy in their way of wanting what's good for you. Some people can be a little pushy. Instead of just, giving you free pointers and stepping back, no, they're gonna be there because they want you to grow, they want you to better yourself and everything. But their only mistake is the fact that they were being overly pushy, because there is a process to everything. And as much as you may want something good for someone, you have to give them the time to get to that place where they want it for themselves. You have to allow them to reach that place. So that's it, and this is a topic for another time. Have a good day.